Ebenezer, everyone. My name is Prophet Chike Jideonwo of the Ebenezer Ministries. So in today's program, Dreams and Interpretation of Dreams, I'm going to touch on a very important and sensitive topic to me. So many people ask, how do I know I'm a seer? So many people, even pastors, call me and say, how do some pastors call and they say they see this, they see flashes of light, they see images. What is the meaning? So that prompted me to do this video. So I'll be very quick and fast. As you can see, it's very cold out here in Geneva. So, but I needed to come outside and take some fresh air. So, what are the signs that you see that may show you that you are a seer? Signs to show you that you may be a seer. Now, the seer, Samuel was the first to be described, Prophet Samuel was the first to be described as a seer. A seer is always a prophet. A seer is always a prophet, but the prophet is not always a seer. Some days ago, I did a video. I don't know if it has been uploaded already on YouTube, but I was explaining the 5 dimensions of the prophetic, where I talked about the seer and the nabi and so on. So meanwhile, the prophet basically is auditory and vocalizes his prophecies. The prophet prophesies. The prophet is mostly oral. He speaks. He edifies, and he warns people against disobedience. But the seer sees the vision. The seer is mostly sees in the spirit. All right. The seer sees from inside. All right. So the seer mostly it comes from the inside. It's flowing like a stream. All right. Whereas for the prophet, it's bubbling. All right. So let's go quickly. I'm going to give, I don't know how many. I wouldn't like to stay too long. So certain signs that may show you that you are a seer. So when you go to Ephesians chapter 4, verse 11, let's go quickly there. I won't be reading any more. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 11, it says that, and he gave some apostles, some prophets, some evangelists, some pastors, and some teachers. You see, you can't be a part-time prophet. It's a vocation. Pastor, teacher, evangelist, these are all vocation. All right. Now, you can't be a part-time prophet. You can't be a part-time seer. You are always seeing. So let's go quickly. A seer is one who sees in the spirit, roha or shazah. They gaze into the spirit, and it is what they visualize with the eye of the spirit that they communicate. The seer is always a seer. A seer is always disposed to see, whereas a prophet is always speaking. Now, what are the signs that shows that you may be a seer? Number 1, you receive visual revelation. You receive, you get revelations. You get your visions through like pictures. The things you see them as pictures, you see in your inner mind. You see, so the revelations you get are always in form of, so to speak, like dreams. Okay, it is very essential. I've been talking since I started this program. I've been talking about the prophet and the seer. Why? Because you don't go to the generalist, a doctor. You don't go to the doctor with a bone problem. You go to the orthopedic. All right, you don't go and see an optometrist whereas you have a problem with your arms. All right, so it is very essential to differentiate the two. Now, just because you receive visual informations, just because you see with the eye of the Spirit, does not make you an automatic seer. All right, because to all Christians, it is basic that every Christian, you are given the capacity and the capability to prophesy. So, but the fact that you once in a while you see does not make you a seer automatically. All right, now let's go. In Acts chapter 2, Peter was speaking. Acts chapter 2, Peter was speaking, and Peter said, he was quoting Prophet Joel, in the last days, I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh. Young men shall see visions, old men shall dream dreams, your maidens, and so on and so forth. So it is very essential. It is very essential that you understand that the seer, we always see. It is very scriptural. All right? So, Acts chapter 2, verse 17, Peter was saying, he said, in the last days, quoting Prophet Joel, in the last days, God says, I will pour out my spirit on all people. That is the international version, New International Version. I will pour out my spirit on all people. Your sons and daughters will prophesy. Your sons and daughters will prophesy. Your young men will see visions, and your old men will dream dreams. So he said, your sons and daughters will prophesy. So I have issues with churches that do not allow the women on the altar or pulpit to prophesy. I have issues with that, because it says in the last days your sons and your daughters shall prophesy. Now, let's go quickly to the next. Let's go quickly to point number 2. Now, listen, before I go to point number 2, remember, I said the prophet is not necessarily a seer, but the seer is always a prophet. You can prophesy and not have the ability to see with the inner eye. Now, remember, Prophet Balaam was a prolific prophet, but the prophet was not seeing the angel, whereas the donkey began to prophesy and began to see. The donkey began to see. You are not getting this one. So point number 2 to show you that you may be a seer is that you have different types of visual revelations. You have all sorts of types. You begin to see dream or see visions of heaven and hell. You begin to see. Every seer will always tell you, I was taken up to heaven, I saw hell, and some will tell you about you begin to dream and see angels, you see demons, you get angelic visitations. If signs to show that you are a seer is that you will have all sorts of dreams, end time messages. You begin to see dreams, warfare dreams, colors, numbers. You begin to see all types of dreams. When you begin to see this consistently, it shows you that you are probably a seer. Now, let's go to point number 3, which I've mentioned unconsciously in point number 2. Point number 3, you will consistently, almost all the time, you will always see visions or dreams or things like that. So now let's get something straight. Most pastors, people tell me, I see flashes, I see this. What does it mean? It is because you are seeing with your inner eye. Something has been unlocked. Probably you need a mentor to direct you more. In Ephesians chapter 4, verse 1, it talks about the 5 gifts, the 5-fold. Now, these are vocations. Now, you are always, for example, let's take a nurse or an optometrist, an ophthalmologist. You are always a doctor. You are, for instance, if you are an optometrist and somebody comes with the issue of an eye, even if you are on vacation, for example, you don't say, no, I'm on vacation, I can't do nothing. No, whenever they call you up with a question concerning the eye, you always have something to say. A doctor is a doctor anytime, any day. When there is an emergency in the plane and a doctor is required, he comes and performs his duty. Why? Because you are always a doctor. So a seer, anytime, any day, will always see. Is always seeing, is always busy seeing all types of dreams. I'm a dreamer, I'm a discerner, I'm a seer, and all the time I am dreaming. All sorts of dreams, different types. Now, what is the fourth sign to show you that you may be a seer? The fourth sign is that you always have this feeling to pray for people. Most of you watching this program, those my sons and daughters in the Lord, or people in my WhatsApp school, a prophetic school, sometimes I call in them and I say, I have this urge to pray with you. I have been praying with you all day. Can I say a word into your life? Can I speak a word into your life? So one of the signs to show that you are a seer is that you will always have this urge to pray for people. You are an intercessor. You can't be a seer without being an intercessor. You can't be a seer without being an intercessor. Number 5 is that you are always careful with what you see. You are always careful with who is telling you a vision, television. So most seers, you see them, they avoid the TV. Why? Because they know the importance of the eye. You do not begin to watch, you are careful, you are very, very careful, protective of your ability to see. Okay, all prophets are intercessors and all seers are prophets, but not all prophets are seers. I repeat, all prophets are intercessors and all seers are prophets, but not all prophets are seers. You see, the seer is compared like a camera. The camera captures images. The camera is always seeing stuff, seeing images and colors. This can be compared to the seer. All right, so I hope you've been able to get some points in this teaching. God bless you all. My name is Prophet Chike Jideonwo, and I love you all. Ebenezer.